So Russell was listening backstage, and he was like, "How much meditation have you guys done today?" And I was like, "A little bit, I think, in the beginning." So we thought we'd just start with him leading us and
It was
what he
funny
does.
that I said,
Um,
what is everybody talking about? Meditation? Everybody? He said, pretty much. So we're not going to talk a lot about meditation. If like, what will I say? I mean, the science is out, the research is conclusive. Most of us here probably meditate already. We all have different styles of meditation, so I was a little bit concerned, but I said I should still lead a meditation, a short one, right? We should just have a short meditation, just so we can have the same vibration. I'm going to give a mass mantra. They get mad at me, like I did that because I'm on the board of the David Lynch Foundation, and I love giving kids meditation, and they've done it for hundreds of thousands of children. And everybody gets their own mantra, which we pay for, right? That's expensive as fuck. And so I'm not going to give you my mantra, but I'm going to give you a mass mantra. I never told anybody my mantra, I paid some. But it was for kids, so I felt comfortable doing it. So I'm going to give a mass mantra, and with just one time we'll use it. You can use as much as you want, but I mean, for those who have their own meditation, we're going to use rum as our vibration. It has no meaning. There's a Sanskrit, but no, for us it has no meaning. It's just a vibration. And it's a mantra that's been used throughout the ages, and some people have meaning, but for us, a vibration that we can have all at once. And we can sit, repeat it, we can lose it to a thought, we can come back to it gently, come back to it, and watch our thoughts if they come, and watch them go, and gently come back to the mantra. And there's a good teacher, especially in the tradition of the Maharishi, which is the David Lynch Foundation, the idea that if you don't have 20 minutes to meditate, you need 2 hours. I had 20 minutes earlier. I don't know what you had, but I did have my 20 minutes earlier. I'm going to have 20 minutes later. But for us, just because they made you yell, we're going to sit for 3 minutes, because we don't have 20 minutes for sure, because I've only got 30 minutes, so we not waste any more. We're going to sit, we're going to repeat the mantra to ourselves. We're going to rest in the perfection that is here and now. Close your eyes. Somebody who got like a watch or something?
I'll keep track.
Will you keep track in 3
keep
minutes?
track, yeah.
My man. All right, let's go.
All right. Very good. So we got a lot to cover, Russell.
Okay.
But since we're on the topic of meditation, I'd love for you just to say a few words on the power of meditation for you, and if it's relevant, why this has come to you. Because you are a music producer, you aren't out seeking it. Did it seek you, or how did it come into your life?
I went to yoga class about 22 years ago, and I went there because there were so many girls, like there was no dudes back then in class. And then I came out of class, I was high as fuck. I was like, wow.
Because of the yoga or because of the girls?
No, it was the yoga. And I felt like so awake, and I got addicted. I started going every day, and then the teacher, gave me the Yoga Sutras, and before I knew it, I was studying yogic science, and that led right to meditation, obviously, right? So I've been a meditator ever since. I know that all of the work that we do all the time, in every case, is meant to promote a comfortable seat, to be at ease, to move to a state of needing nothing, right? So meditation is the quickest and the most, for me, the best tool to promote this kind of stillness that gives us those seconds of happiness. And, we all are seeking this long-term nirvana, samadhi, and, takwa, whatever, Christ consciousness. So we're all seeking this space where we can live stuck on stupid, or awake to be awake for more than a few seconds. But, yoga gives you those seconds, or lengthens the seconds you have. Meditation lengthens the seconds you have at presence. So that's why I meditate, because I learned, even after that first class, I came out, I was like, shit, like awake, like just for a minute. And so it kept coming back every single day.
So you have numerous businesses. So for people who say they don't have the time, so you do 40 minutes a day, right? 20 in the morning, 20 in the night.
And I go to class every single day.
You go to yoga class every single day.
Yep.
So, and you run massive businesses and projects of all kinds, for-profit, non-profit. So the people who say they don't have the time and they're going to be less successful and less focused.
My argument is that a few seconds awake is worth a lot more than hours of sleep. And there's no doubt that, like I have 4 now, but then others, so many philanthropic and social and political causes that are not my own, or that I'm the chairman of. And then I have lots of businesses, God knows, I don't count them all, but all smarter people than me, but I can't give them proper direction if I'm not awake. And so I think I'm more effective when I'm, after I meditate, or I've been to yoga class, and so I do those things daily. First chakra first. You all know that. Take care of the diet and the body and the self, so you can serve God. You can't serve God if you don't take care of yourself. So that's what I think.
Great. So you have your 3 most recent books, and I want to talk to you about your last one. One was called Super Rich, then one was called Success Through Stillness, and I know the third is The Happy Vegan. Was there some change between Super Rich and Success Through Stillness? Because they seem like just slightly different approaches.
No, they're the same book over. No, do you too? They're all the same book over and over.
Why call one Super Rich and one Success Through Stillness?
Well, no, the thing is that they're all the same book. I'm sorry for those who bought more than one. I rely more heavily on one crutch or another depending on the book. Super Rich is a state of needing nothing. I couldn't call my book like Nirvana, right, or Christ Consciousness. Like, would you buy it from me? So I called it Super Rich.
Okay.
The state of needing nothing, right? And that's what it is, right? Your comfortable seat, you're super rich, right? If you are really at home in your seat. So super rich is like, to Christ consciousness and nirvana, samadhi stuff that all the prophets promote. And success through stillness is one of the 8 parts of yoga, right? The 7th, or the 6th or 7th is the withdrawal and then meditation. And samadhi, so deep meditation. So success through stillness is that you're operating from a calm space, goes back to that seat. from abundance. You know, that's so there's success.
And that's how you live in terms of the practice keeps you in a state of needing nothing in abundance, and that allows you to, or sometimes.
That, I'm working on it. It's a struggle. You know, you gain faith in the practice because you get happier. You have proof that yoga works, proof that meditation matters, proof that good karmic work affects you. You have proof because you're happier, you're healthier. Proof that a vegan diet is important. You know, so
Can you say why? So yeah, from success through stillness, your latest is health and diet. Would that be true? And what inspired that, and why do you feel like that's
because my
important?
friends were dying, like, you know, and it's not funny, but they would check it out, right? And none of us would get out of here alive, so it's not, you know, but people were dying, and I know that the American factory farming industry is poisoning us. And I know that, you know, dominion over the animals can't possibly mean 100 billion animals made to be born through rape and any other factory practice they can come up with into a short life of really bad suffering, unless they're unlucky and they have a long life of really bad suffering. And then they destroy the planet and poison the people. That can't be a good idea. And it can't be good if the American government gives them $50 billion while giving the vegetable industry $17 million. It can't be good that the factory farming of animals product is subsidized and it destroys the planet and the people. And we give it to our children. So, you know, lots of stuff happens, lots of governments over the years, throughout centuries, have poisoned their people in various different ways and exploited their people. Somehow, Americans feel safe. They feel safe. The FDA, milk does a body good. Milk does not do a body. If you're Jewish, you're 87% likely to be lactose intolerant. And the pus that's under your cut, like when you cut your arm, you don't want to drink that. That's what milk is. It's the pus, like your finger, you cut your finger. Under that, that's your milk. It's not good. It doesn't do a body good. The calcium that's in the milk, you deplete your calcium trying to get it. Most of you are here, they're conscious people. They listen when people say shit, like they don't just block it out, right? So most of you know this stuff I'm saying. So it's really horrible that an American agency can tell you that. And again, the animal industry is not happy. Like, I'm going to be on Dr. Oz. I'm going to be on Oprah. I'm going to tell the world as much as I can. And they're not suing me like they did Oprah yet. But they can't. I mean, that's stupid to sue me because everybody knows now. And we're sharing this information so it sticks. And we have to change the practices that, you know, lobbyists go away from people after a while. Like, I'm taking your money. I'm taking your money. Global warming's not man-made. No, global warming's fine. Wait a fucking minute. The UN keeps saying global warming, and then all the reports are proof that we're making, like the cow is the hurricane, period. That's it, right? So then even the people who are taking the money is like, I got to distance myself from you and that bullshit. Like, I can't say that anymore.
Right. I can say a lot of bullshit, but now it's getting extreme.
I'm saying, but yeah, like other stuff I can say, but I can't say that. Right? I used to say that. So as we educate the people, then the lobbyists have less power in different cases. But, you know, until we change our government, which is another whole fucking story about, that's a whole other story about Occupy, why we need to change the pay-for-play system that we call a democracy. It's deeply flawed. The people are less powerful than the corporations, and that's fact. And as the people are uneducated, the corporations slip one over on you over and over again. The easiest game in the world is to give a politician $1, and he may return $1 billion to you through his vote for some unjust idea system, whether it be the prison industrial complex, which has destroyed entire communities around this country, or the animal industry, which is poisoning the people of this country. It's always lobbyists. Nobody else is eating our shit. You know that. You know, like somebody just said on Instagram, they tried to give us your chicken in South Africa. Fuck no, we won't take that. That was, but nowhere in the world you can't give us straight. They label the GMOs in Russia and China and everywhere. Think they don't label this shit? Super salmon you're getting ready to get. You know how much antibiotics is in super salmon? Right. My God. And other stuff that they don't know what it is. Right. They just, there's a new super salmon. You heard about that? No. There's a super salmon now. It grows 40% faster. Wow. It's got a bunch of shit in it. And the government Obama just after fighting it for 3 years, just signed the bill. Wow. And they're not going to label it. You're just going to have a piece of salmon that day. You're going to be like, oh shit, it's a big piece of salmon. And it's going to be full of antibiotics. More antibiotics will be in the super salmon than any other animal product you ingest. Yeah. More than any of the other. There's a lot of antibiotics in your chicken along with the Prozac and other stuff. So it's going to be even more.
So how do you balance this place of being happy in the face of being really educated about the mass-produced industrial complex, the way our food system is all messed up,
you gotta be happy,
the way the politics are messed up? Because I think a lot of people feel the same, right? They feel like, wow, I want this like peace, but I also feel like I'm living in this world, and what do I do with this world?
That's the question. That's the yoga and your meditation. Accept perfection. It is what it is. You're a servant of God. If it's one outside you, or if it's the one if God were the ocean, maybe you'd be just a cup of God. You'd be a piece of this collective, right? You're a servant. So you do what you can, your part, and you go to sleep. You wake up because you got good rest, and you go about your business. You can't, you can't worry about the world. Your happiness sits inside you, and you have to operate from a happy place. It's easier said than done, but you have to practice with the tools that are given you. You have to do the work. Right. I didn't want to go there. I went to an hour-and-a-half hot yoga class today at a studio. I've been there once, but last time it was only an hour. It was an hour and a half. And it was something called hip-hop yoga. They didn't play any hip-hop, but it was whatever. But it was a hip-hop yoga class, and it was a vinyasa. It was nice. We said Om in the beginning, and that was fucking it. It was Om, and then it was just vinyasa for an hour and a half in the heat. I didn't want to do that shit this morning.
Right.
But you had to get up and do it.
Right. Do you?
What's it called? Happy Flow? My girlfriend. Happy Flow? Flow happy or something?
I don't know. Were you happy?
I do it. I practice heated vinyasa every day somewhere, like all around, and I go a lot of places. But that class was hard as hell. But you feel good after.
Right.
Like you don't want to meditate every morning. My kids, I used to meditate with them every day before they went away to school. Right. Every morning I go meditate with them, and they wouldn't want to meditate, and their mother would be like, "Sit the fuck." And they would sit, and 1 minute into the meditation, they would disappear. Okay. And they'd open their eyes after 15 minutes. That's what they did. And they'd be like wide awake. Wow. But every morning you got to make them do it. Right. And they were good meditators because kids can be great at dropping into still spaces, but they also don't want to do it. Yeah. And I don't want to do it every morning. Right. But you do it because you always you evolve through a little bit of struggle or making the proper choice. And it becomes more natural and easier, obviously, but it's something that you have to keep. There's work required, if you want to evolve.
Right. It's not just about what you feel like in any given moment.
That's why people join all kinds of religions. Say, on Saturday, no, Saturday I can stay in. No, but Sunday, they change. Like they're spiritual people, but they have 20 practices. Right. That way they can say, kosher today, not kosher tomorrow. Vegan today, not vegan tomorrow. So they get away with, and we all do, but we have to put some kind of observances in place to promote our spiritual growth.
Right. So it feels like the essence of you is this inner dimension, like we're all servants of God. And part of that being a servant is knowing when you're called to act. So for example, you're putting on, it's not a competitor to the Oscars, but it's how would you decide? How would you
just celebrate? It's an greedy entrepreneurial shit I'm doing.
So
the Oscars, it is true that it's 94. The Oscars, Hollywood is the most segregated place on the planet. I'm not, I'm just, Until a couple days ago, they hired their first African-American woman to run a network. No African-American men have ever been close. And it's just what it is. And people accept, there's not one agent in the entire town. If you're a black agent and you represent Denzel or Will Smith, you are a black agent until they cross over, and then they get another agent. And so there's not one powerful, not even close to powerful, not even almost close to powerful agent of color. And it's infrastructure, and people accept it too. Like I always say, the reason I have a great first look deal at HBO is because Richard Plepler, that's my man. Like I was on the beach with him, hanging out with him on a regular basis when he was a publicist. And now he's the boss. And then Emma, who runs Fox, I got movies over there in development, but she was my intern.
Wow.
So you have to make friends, and I think there's an integration process, and the doors aren't closed. You have to walk in or push in doors that seem to be closed. They're open. So people are not fighting integration, but you have to integrate too. The Black Comedy Club. If you're a black comedian, oh my God, and you come from Omaha to somewhere and you go to LA, it'd be the first time you know you're a nigga. You go to the Comedy Store, you say, I'll see you on Chocolate Sunday. I'll see you on More Better Monday. Right. A Wild Wednesday, Terrible Tuesday. This is the name they had. They had Black Comedy Night. Segregated, and there's no agents, right?
Right.
Very few producers, very few directors, so you're playing in front of only African Americans, and you never get to cross over.
Right.
So you never, and then since there's only white senior executives, you got to be accessible or easy to digest, or, and so so I see that. I moved to Hollywood 2 years ago. I mean, I'm developing a lot of stuff, and again, I partly blame or place a kind of challenge to what they call Black Hollywood. You have to integrate. But of course, the bosses of Hollywood have to reach out because it's money. If you see culture properly or you have insight into pop culture, and a lot of what happened like years ago when we had Martin and Jamie and Cedric the Entertainer and Bernie Mac and Chris Tucker and Dave Chappelle and Steve Harvey, I can go on and on. They all happened in 1 second on Def Comedy because it would seem like there's money there. And after that, not one black comedian made it.
Wow.
Kevin Hart, no one wanted him. He was on Def Comedy 3 times. No one wanted him. And we talk about 15 years ago. No one wanted him. He made his own shit. And then they got big and he got, integrated. Every movie you bring in studio, they say, can Kevin Hart be in it? No, he can't be everywhere. We can't clone this nigga. We can't clone him. So, but they haven't given a breakthrough because they don't understand enough, what could be next. Right. And that's the lack of diversity in the senior ranks. Right. People who press the buttons for the green lights. There's not one person who's ever pressed the button. This woman that got hired 2 days ago has not green-lit anything yet, so nobody black has ever pressed a button in Hollywood.
Wow.
So I'm doing it anyway. So I'm doing the All Def Digital Movie Awards. Now I sold to a network, so it's no longer digital. But it's last minute. It's going to be a lot of fun, mostly comedy. Giving Will Smith a Lifetime Achievement Award and Norman Lear an award. Norman Lear, if you don't know, he's a legendary TV producer. Yeah. They discussed race back then so much better than they do now. Mm-hmm. I mean, I remember being a kid, and I saw Good Times. I was like, people are struggling. It's a tight-knit family, I guess. But then when I saw the Jeffersons, oh my God, he was the best. He was like a rich black guy who would curse white people out all the time. It was amazing. It was amazing. And Norman Lear produced lots of stuff, and so he's getting a Vanguard Award. And then the rest of the stuff is,
Now, when you're in conversation with some of these people, whether it's like from the food industry or the traditional media company, it would seem that they're part of the problem, right? That there's people who are part of the problem, and as like a spiritual orientation, do you notice yourself relating to them? Because on one level, right, you can say, we're all just brothers and sisters.
I try to relate to everybody. Roger Ailes, who runs Fox News,
right.
That's my man.
That's your man.
Right. Rabbi Snire, who I work with, because he's just a nice enough guy. He don't know anything. He knows what he knows. Yeah. He believes his shit. Right. He's not like Hannity. He's like a showman. O'Reilly believes his shit. Bill O'Reilly believes the stuff that comes out of his mouth. And so you have
he's like respect. You have respect for that.
He believes what he says. I talk to him. He got to talk to people to know more, maybe sometimes, and so do we, all of us. Listening is important. So, Yeah, I speak to people who have different views than mine. I'm missing Savior's Day. Savior's Day is they celebrate a white man who started the black Muslims every year. The Nation of Islam does. Master Farad Muhammad taught Elijah Muhammad, taught lots of the other ministers, including Malcolm X. They created the black Muslims. And they're still existing in every ghetto in America as the best rehabilitation and reentry program you could have. And they're very positive in the community. They've saved hundreds of thousands of lives. So most people don't like Minister Farrakhan. He's my second dad. Mostly done nothing but good. People say, well, look what he is. He's saved hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of black lives. So and I know the second and third generation kids, that they're not from prison, they're from this straight family. They're like Moonies, they're straight people. I mean, it's straight. And they're really sweet, and they'll pick your bag up. If you're an old white lady, they'll walk you across the street. They're not, they're not hateful, they're loving people. They're like we see the Hare Krishnas or something. They're just nice. So I'm missing Savior's Day. I've been to a few of them. But at the same time, I'm the chairman of the Foundation for Ethnic Understanding, and a lot of the times what I do with Rabbi Snai is we fight anti-Semitism around the world. And so my friends don't have to all love each other all the time. But I think it's my job to love everybody.
Got it. Wow. And so what, we only have a few minutes, but what motivates you? Because you don't need like fame, money. That's what most people, right, are motivated by. Like if I can
fame and money, I like that shit.
Yeah. But you got it. You got it. What is it?
I think being a servant is good. Stuff comes when you give. Good givers are great getters. The toys come. I really don't need a lot. I got a Range Rover.
Cool.
Luxury.
What is it that like? Is it just knowing like how and best to serve? Is that what drives you, or is there a driver?
It kind of like comes in front of you. Like I thought of that All Def Digital Movie Awards like 2 weeks ago, 10 days ago. Like people are working like crazy right now. They're trying to, and then the next thing somebody bought it, it wasn't digital anymore. Now it's going to be announced Monday. That Wednesday it'll be filmed for television. So we like licensing hell and all kinds of hell. So it's a full court press. Things come to you, when you see what they did, whatever the name of the big store was, a Fortune 500 company, pull the ads from the show American Muslim because there were no terrorists on the show.
Wow.
It's like, you guys got to put your money back. They said no. So leading a boycott scares everybody else who's my partner, but I had to do it. Or little things like that. I'm always involved in something as it just comes to me, and no one else will do it. Right. A lot of times you got to do stuff because no one else will do it.
Got it.
And that seems to be a lot of what I get done.
Got it. Awesome.
So,
wow. Thank you. Thank you. So,
a lot of people.
His book Happy Vegan is in the bookstore as well as the other books, but you just, as you said, just need to read one. All proceeds go to charity. Is that true?
Yeah, my books, I don't keep the money.
No, all of it goes to charity. Russell's also going to be going into the Q&A room to have deeper conversations with them. We could probably spend all day talking, but I really want to thank you, particularly with your show in a couple days?
Yeah, it's coming it's going to be, we're filming Wednesday. We'll probably run it before as opposed to what the network wanted, which is opposite the Oscars. That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
I think we should add to their viewership, and we should work with them. And I think the dialogue that was created at first by Jada Pinkett was good because it kind of moved the Academy to move very fast. It says 94% white men are not going to pick Straight Outta Compton. They're just not going to do it.
That's crazy.
So just to integrate the Academy, they're moving very fast. But more importantly, I think, is to change the infrastructure of Hollywood so that people can learn from each other and make better movies and be more inclusive, which is all of our goals, right?
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.